So, what goes into hiring a Division I coach? What's that process look like? You haven't had to do it. You did it well. This is TJ's.
It looks different today than it did in 2005. Because in
Okay.
2005, I did. You know, you thought, well, okay, I'm good at this. I can figure this out. Well, we'll go, I'll go get one of those people off that list, right? Because you thought it was science. And what you quickly figured out, personnel is art. Personnel is 100% art. I mean, they got to be good at what they do, right? Because they get no credibility if they're not good at what they do. But just because somebody's good doesn't make them the right fit if they don't fit. And fitting at Iowa State is matching with our culture. And so what I would tell you is, yeah, you're looking for track record, but you're really wanting to know, do they know what it's going to be like to be in Ames, Iowa?
Okay, you say that. Matt Campbell.
Yes.
Could go down, if he isn't already, as the very best football coach ever at Iowa State, possibly. Maybe not there yet. Why him? Was it because of that reason that you just said? Because you knew that he could fit in here? Because he's had many opportunities. We all read the papers and we see all the tweets, but he's still here. And as far as I know, and from what I've seen, like I said, heard him talk and his on-the-field success. We've had some hiccups. This year was a great year. He's great. He's a big-time dude. How'd you get him? Why'd you get him?
Well, we had identified him as the number one candidate, and so I'm going to digress because it's a funny story off of that.
Okay.
But
Yep.
So we went to interview him first, and it was Thanksgiving weekend. They were playing Friday in a game they had to win to get to the MAC championship the following week. Matt was adamant he would not talk to us until he knew if they were still playing or not. And so we flew over to Toledo and camped out in Toledo on that Friday, even though we had lined up a whole bunch of interviews for Sunday in Atlanta with a whole bunch of other candidates. But we decided if they lost on Friday, nobody else was coming in there and being first. We were going to be first.
Sure.
So he lost on that Friday and was stunned to find out we were there waiting for him, because he thought when he lost, like we probably were moving on, like we were going to go somewhere else. And we're like, no, we're just down the block. When do you want to meet? And so we met on Saturday morning. And I remember we asked him to bring Erica to the interview, his wife. And we joke about it to this day, because it was David Harris, who's now the AD at Tulane, but had been at Northern Iowa.
Yep.
So David Harris and I were the two people. And we walked in, and you do the pleasantries, and then Erica goes to leave. And I said, where are you going? And she goes, well, I'm leaving. You're going to interview Matt. I said, no, we came here to interview both of you, because we're not hiring him without you. And so she sat through the whole interview, all right? And this is a great line, because when it got down to the end, and I remember saying to him, like, okay, here's what's next, okay? You can either shake my hand and tell me you're taking the job, or you can let me go do what we normally do, which is I'll go interview a whole bunch of people tomorrow, and then we'll see where we're at. And he said, he looked at her and goes, what do you think? Okay? And she's like, I'm in.
Oh boy.
And so he reaches his hand out, and I said, well, I haven't even told you what you're going to make. And he goes, doesn't matter, I can trust you.
Wow.
And so it was bonded right there in that moment.
You bet.
But this is the funny part of it. This is a part of never make assumptions, okay?
Yep.
Especially in the world we live in. Never make assumptions, right? So we both sat there and talked about, well, how can we tell our teams? Because in this day and age, you can't, as soon as I pick up the phone and say, call those 5 other people and tell them I'm not coming to Atlanta, everybody knows you hired somebody, right?
Yeah, nothing's a secret.
Yeah, so, right? And Matt wanted, because now it was almost Saturday, it was later in the day on Saturday, but Matt wanted to be able to go tell his team on Sunday. I wanted to get back to Ames and tell our locker room. And we were meeting at his financial advisor's office, and the guy said, don't worry about it, I got it handled. Now, when someone tells me they got it handled, and it's something, it's like, great, somebody's got it handled, let's go to dinner. So Matt, Erica, and I leave to go to dinner. I call Ellen, and I said, Ellen, this is awesome, Matt's taking the job, I'm coming home tonight, I'm not going to Atlanta. The Campbells are gonna fly in on Sunday, they'll come to our house, we're gonna have the press conference on Monday. It's awesome, right? She's all fired up. So we're at dinner, and my phone, I can feel it buzzing in my pocket. And at first, I don't want to be rude, it's my new coach, right? His wife, right? And it keeps buzzing and buzzing. I said, excuse me, I gotta look. I look down, and I got 3 missed calls from Ellen. So what's the first thing you'd think as a husband? Something bad happened.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I said, let me go, I just gotta go out and take this call. So I go out and I call Ellen, I said, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she goes, are you sure Matt Campbell's coming to Iowa State? And I said, yeah, why not? She goes, well, it just said on ESPN that he's in Columbia, Missouri right now interviewing with the University of Missouri.
Oh, get out of here.
And I remember thinking, I looked out and I go, well, no, they're just starting their tiramisu. I don't
I think that's him. Yeah.
He's here. So the following day, we're all at our house and his financial guy's with him. And I said, by the way, when you said you had it handled, what did that mean?
Oh, man.
And he said, oh, I called my friend at ESPN and I said, we need a favor. You need to run a story that Matt Campbell's in Columbia, Missouri, interviewing. Okay? So think about that. So I got my wife going, it's the worldwide leader. They can't be wrong.
Yeah. They know everything.
So it does make you pause about what they tell you, because you never know what that other person's agenda is. So I don't want to live my whole life being skeptical, but I kind of said, if I don't see it with my own eyes or hear it with my own ears, I'm probably not going to be first in line.